Hello Emma, I'm sorry it's taken me so long to get back to you, but thank you so much for your application form. And I felt so embarrassed when I saw you and I was like, oh my God, I haven't done this yet, so apologies. First of all, I'm going to start kind of at the end of your thing, because I feel like all systems are part of the same problem, and everything's part of the same problem. I think your biggest problem is your heart chakra. You've probably got an open heart chakra, which most of the population do have an open heart chakra, but when it's heart chakra is blocked by not being able to celebrate yourself, not knowing your worth, not knowing your value, and then it spills into people pleasing, and you can't actually really, I mean you can to an extent, but when you're not in performance, you are just being yourself, you're more likely to attract in healthy relationships. But honestly, even aligned people will attract unhealthy relationships in. The problem is, and the solution also, is that when people attract people in, if 50% of those people are unhealthy, when someone identifies as a people pleaser or has a blocked heart, they're more likely to keep the people in their lives that keep them where they are unhealthy, are more toxic potentially, because they see the empath in them, sees the potential and genuinely wants to help. But you can't help everyone. It's not your job to save everyone. And the heart chakra is unblocked by telling your story and really strengthening all of the lower chakras, which are the I am, and that you've never celebrated yourself. And you have this fear of messing up. You're an artist, so you need to know that life is like one big painting and one big expression of yourself. And if someone came to you to learn art, you wouldn't say to them, look, you really need to be careful not to mess this up, because that's not how creativity works. It's not how the world works. It's not how life works. And when we're in school, we're really taught, as girls especially, to get things right. This is how you get things right, this is how you do well, and this is how you get things wrong. And we are so conditioned into that space of this is how you get it right, this is how you get it right, that we then don't know how to navigate the world, because we're so used to right and wrong. If I stick to these set of rules, then I get it right. But life and creativity, as you know, doesn't have a right or wrong. There is no right or wrong when it comes to painting or creativity. So I think that if I was you, I would definitely do a bit of reading around devotion if you want to join the lounge, and I'd love to have you. And I think that like the place where you're in is the perfect place to start, because you want to get back to your creative side. You have that in you. You've kind of ground zeroed in that you've just gone through finding yourself single, etc. At any point in your life, you get to be whoever you want to be. You get to choose, and this is like the best place to plant the seeds to become the person that you want to be. So I personally, if you want to join the lounge, I personally would definitely do visibility now, because it's the course that's happening, and so much of visibility is about rebuilding your identity. But I'd also dip into devotion and really starting to understand love languages, patterns that we find ourselves in. I do erotic physics, because erotic physics will teach you out of this people-pleasing thing. Like, I think we think that we need to please men, and we often put men on a pedestal. And what you don't understand, or maybe you're like, you haven't witnessed enough, is that men actually like it when we say no. We're as the feminine force, as the resisting force, we are meant to say no a lot. You know, the egg says no to a fuckload of sperm, she only says yes to one. So there is so much that we can learn from nature, biology, physics, in how as women we become the fucking queen of our own lives. But also I saw that you got a lot from a course. If you have identified as a people pleaser before, people pleasers tend to be brilliant at courses, learning, etc., because they want to please the teacher, and then by what's the word I'm trying to say? By default, they also do brilliantly and they move the needle. So use that in doing courses, because when you are self-led as well, and you do well and you want to do well, and you're in a space where like there are markers for your learning and you can see that people are improving, and you need someone, like often that will be someone with an open route that needs someone to hold them accountable through their journey. I think that would be, you know, really good for you. So I'd love to have you there if you fancy it. You know where the link is. But that's what I would do personally, visibility, but in the background I'd be studying devotion and erotic physics. Hope that helps.